Happy holidays, everyone. Merry Christmas. Happy Life Day. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Hanukkah. And yes, once again, Happy Life Day. I am Jack Vogt, the obsessed movie man, and laughing at that terrible Star Wars holiday reference is Kyle.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Life Day.
Yeah. Do you think it's funny that George Lucas has always tried to distance himself from the holiday special and tried to downplay its existence, and now once Disney bought it, we're gonna we're gonna market Life Day and the holiday special throughout the park. Did they do that? Because you went to Disneyland.
I didn't. Well, I went at. It was super late, so I didn't really see too much of the Life Day.
Okay.
But that's really funny. Now they're going ahead on it.
Yeah, they're just doubling down. Now they just need to actually release it on Blu-ray and stuff.
Is it on Disney Plus?
No, it's never been officially released aside from bootlegs. I think they didn't even mention the holiday special. There was a documentary right when the prequels were coming out about the original trilogy, and they didn't even mention the holiday special.
So why did they do all that? What was
money?
It's so
because you need to market this franchise that you just started.
Was it made after episode 4?
Right after episode 4.
Oh, wow.
And I believe they briefly reference the holiday special in Empire, when they're on Hoth. Han is when we met that bounty hunter, it gave me some... he mentions the Boba Fett incident briefly. He doesn't say Boba Fett, but he's when we met that bounty hunter on so-and-so, and he's referencing the planet, and... So for a while it was canon.
With him on the dinosaur?
Yeah, that one. That's the one thing. Actually, the Boba Fett documentary that Disney Plus released, they mentioned the holiday special. But before we go into the topic, first off, how are you celebrating Christmas, Kyle? Oh, I have to move. Crunch, crunch, crunch. All right.
Yeah. Just with family. Nothing too crazy. Same old, same old. I like it routine. It's nice.
Doing anything to get ready for the holidays or not really?
This year's a little different, but got the apartment all Christmas out. I've been watching Christmas movies, playing music, lighting candles. Just trying to get in that mood.
It's difficult to get into the mood for it, I guess, when you're older.
Yeah.
I guess you could say that, as corny as it sounds, the magic is kind of gone, and you're a cynical adult, just talks about 80s movies. No. But I celebrated earlier by watching Batman Returns.
Ooh.
Because I hosted a movie night where the theme was Christmas movies, but not necessarily a Christmas movie. So the obvious choice people would have gone for was Die Hard, but luckily we watched Batman Returns. Because you don't celebrate Christmas without Danny DeVito biting some guy's nose.
Oh my god.
That movie's terrifying, Kyle.
Yeah, I remember watching it when I was a kid. I think it was on TV, and it freaked me out.
Danny, if you thought, people are always Batman 89 is not the best adaptation of the comics, Batman Returns takes it to a whole new other level. Its depiction of Catwoman and Penguin and Christopher Walken being himself.
Yeah, that scene with Christopher Walken at the end, it freaked me out when I was a kid.
When you see his body
Oh, yeah. I was a kid, so it creeped me out, but nowadays.
I think it's funny. I think the movie's kind of funny. Unintentionally, but I don't know. There's one moment where Christopher Walken's Bruce, shame on you, and it just makes me laugh. And then I think there's another moment where they're at a ball, and Max looks at Bruce Wayne and goes, yawn, and then he walks away. And last thing I'll say is, when you look at the behind-the-scenes story for the Max Shrek character, Tim Burton's I don't want to cast Christopher Walken. They're why? And his response is, and I quote, he scares me.
Oh my god.
So Tim Burton was scared of Christopher Walken.
Why?
I don't know, but okay, we've got about 5 minutes, and
let's do it.
We're gonna do a topic that, when this comes out, it'll already be close to Christmas.
Yeah.
The topic is similar to what we did with the Halloween one, where we're just gonna be talking about 3 Christmas specials or holiday specials, not Star Wars holiday specials, but holiday specials that we enjoy watching during the holidays, or at least in general, just watch. Kyle, you pulling up your list, or
yeah, I'm getting it ready.
All right, so I have mine memorized, but if you were ready to go,
So we're doing three. We're doing TV specials. Right?
TV special.
Okay,
They could do. I think Are mine? Oh yeah, TV special. I was like, I had to double check in my mind. Were they TV specials or were they?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, my I know mine are TV specials.
All right.
But yeah, and then the okay. I think I'll go first. Why not?
You are the guest, sir.
Let's see. I'll do one that I already pulled up right now.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, and we don't know each other's list again.
Per tradition.
Yeah, we're gonna do roulette. So I'm gonna do. I know you picked this one. I think you did this one. Maybe I did. Grandma got ran over by a reindeer.
I didn't, but I used to watch it all the time as a kid. Not only that, I used to sing that song to my grandparents.
Oh my god.
They thought it was funny.
Yeah, I think we all probably did that.
All right, why did you pick? Go ahead and talk about it.
So I always remember it being on Cartoon Network.
Mm-hmm.
It was every year. It just on repeat. There wasn't anything special about it when I was a kid. I don't really like nothing really grabbed me, but I recently rewatched it and it is a weird movie. It is so weird. And there's just weird transitions. The songs are goofy. The characters' motivations are weird. There's like weird jokes that like they'll make and they'll like pause for like laughter, but it's like, oh, that wasn't funny. Let's wrap this up. We got to keep this going. It is such a weird movie.
And if I remember correctly, the song came first, right? This is the movie entirely based on the song.
Correct. This movie came out in 2000. I don't remember when the song came out, but yeah, no, song and then movie.
Like, I remember they take trivial things from the song. Like, for example, there's a lyric in the song where they talk about how Grandpa played cards with Cousin Mel, and they actually put that in the movie. There's a scene where he's actually... Oh, my Discord went off. I'm going to silence my phone. There's like a moment where he's actually playing cards with Cousin Mel. And the thing that I remember most about that is the Grandpa's going to sue the Pants Off of Santa song.
Yep. Oh,
where they're like doing a tropical dance or something. Like her and the lawyer are singing that song.
Oh, there's just so many things in this movie. I remember the whole like theme of the movie is how you have to keep Christmas traditions alive and don't let big corporations come in and bully you or something like that, because the whole point of it is they run a bookstore or like some sort of shop, and it's like during Christmas time it gets crazy, and this guy from a corporation, I think they're I forget what they're called. Like they're called like I own everything or something. they're just not subtle about it. And he's like, oh hey, and I'm pretty sure the guy who voices him is like one of the Ninja Turtles,
like from the original 80s.
Yeah, and
it might be Rob Paulson. Because I could be wrong. I'm just taking a wild guess.
I was trying to look, but yeah. So
there's Cam Clark, Rob Paulson, and I don't remember the other two actors.
I don't know, but yeah. So he's like, he tries to buy her shop. She doesn't want to sell it. And then there's like a greedy cousin that's like trying to get her to sell, and I'm always like, but even if like she does sell, like you don't get the money. Like you're just the.
She's hoping that, I'm assuming that when the grandma dies, she's like, oh, I'm gonna leave it to my bitchy granddaughter.
Yeah, and then there's also the mom and the dad, the kids. There's like a whole list she'd have to go through before that would even happen.
Isn't there like? Doesn't like the cousin try to murder the grandmother by like spiking fruit cake with a reindeer?
Oh yeah, there's like that whole plot line. There's the part where like the main character, the kid, he like he's like on the fence about believing in Santa or not, and he's like asked the parent. They did that thing where it's like kind of like in time travel movies, you don't kind of question the time travel because then it just will never make sense. So in Christmas movies, don't ever question the fact that Santa's real or not.
I do question that. I question that every year.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because then in the movie they're like, oh, is Santa Claus real or not? And then the mom's like, maybe, and it's like, okay, he either is or isn't. Because how do those presents get there?
That's my biggest pet peeve with movies like that, like Miracle on 34th Street or Tim Allen's The Santa Claus, where they're like, there's no such thing as Santa Claus. Then how do you explain the presents?
Exactly.
They just magically appear there. So
yeah, it's like just don't think about it. Just don't ask that question. But they do they do that, and then right after they do the whole part where she gets ran over, and it's so brutal. She just gets hit, and the kid's watching the whole time. And he's like, "Oh my god!" And he's just staring at it. And
you
then,
see the body, right?
yeah. And then he goes down. He goes downstairs to tell his parents, and then everyone's like, "What are you, an idiot?" And he's just like, "No, it happened. I swear." And they're all just arguing about it. And I'm like, "Bro, your grandma's down in the snow. Go get her." And then and then they finally like go, and she's just gone.
They're like, "Were you making this up?"
Yeah, right. And then the cousin finds the ransom note. Well, not a ransom note, but a note like, "Hey, I just hit your grandma. I'm Santa."
But that's really irresponsible of Santa.
Yeah, that's another thing. Why didn't he just drop her off at a hospital? Instead, he goes, "I'm just gonna take her to the North Pole and we'll fix it."
I'm assuming it's like, well, I'm busy right now, so I don't have the time to do that. So I'm gonna let this woman freeze to death either out in the snow or in miles and miles in the air with my sleigh.
Right? It's just so weird. And then
I'm starting to think this movie isn't that good.
it's just a weird movie. And then so she gets hit, and then they just like they put out like they don't find her. It just skips Christmas and it goes to like the middle of the month, like it's like 9 months later or something like that. And then they declare her dead. And then the cousin tricks the grandpa into like selling her the store so she could sell it to the company. Mm-hmm. And this is where the weird music transitions happen, because she's like, "I need you to sign this," and he's like, "Sing?" And she goes, "No, sign this."
That!
And he goes, "I want to sing," and then just starts singing a random song, and that was
I remember that moment.
Even when I was a kid, I was like, did I miss something? Did my brain just like skip a beat? What was that? It was just the weirdest transition. They do that. There's that scene where they go to the company and there's like one of the lawyers or something. It's one of the other business ladies there, and she goes, "Oh, my name is yada yada, but my initials spell like the letter I, the letter M, and then her last name is Slime." And he goes, "You said it, not me." And then it's just a quiet pause, and I was like, "Oh, that was a joke, I guess."
It's weird enough when they do the awkward pauses for jokes in live action movies, but when you do it for a cartoon, that must be even weirder.
It's just the tip of the iceberg of this movie, which I'm loving this movie. I'm not complaining. It's fun. This is what makes it a fun watch is, it's like months go by and she's declared dead, and then like Santa's like, "Oh, what do we do? She has amnesia. I don't know how to find her." It's like, you're Santa Claus. Like, I know it's not discussed like what his powers are, but in like every iteration, every movie, he can just look at you and be like, "Hey, you're so and so. I know what you always wanted for Christmas." He can't just look at her and be like, "Oh, you're yada yada."
Doesn't he know when you're sleeping, know when you're awake, and knows everything about you?
Yeah, and like also you hit her in front of her house. Like, you don't remember? Like, it's a lot of answers, but I mean, I get it. It's a kids movie.
To add on to it, what I find funny about this special, I used to watch it all the time too.
Yeah.
Spoilers for this. He hits her again. It happens at the very end. The thing happens.
That part made me laugh when I was a kid. That part was so funny, where they're just like, "Oh no, it's gonna happen again," and just gets hit. Do you remember that after he goes to the North Pole and Santa's like, "Hey, yeah, I hit her. My bad. She has amnesia," and then they take her back home, and then they try to prove to everyone that like Santa's real, and then they go to like the cousin. They're like, "Hey, this is Santa. He's the one that hit her. Don't sell the company. She's still alive." And then they just do a 180 where they go, "Oh, you just brought us the person that committed the crime? We're just going to sue him." And then he goes to jail, and then there's the courtroom scene.
I love the court. Don't they bring like a reindeer to the court case or something?
I don't...
When Mel is found guilty, they're like, "Arrest that woman for destroying the spirit of Christmas." And then one of the guys, I think he's the owner of the other company, is like, "Babe, you look great in striped uniform."
Oh my god. Do you remember the Fargo esque police officers? Like,
oh yeah,
I don't know about the Santa fellow, but we should go find this old broad. And it's like, what the heck?
That's what you get for trying to destroy the holiday. Oh my! I wonder if there's a Blu-ray. There's probably a DVD at least, but That movie is that special is so weird. I love that you picked it.
It's weird in the best way possible. I love it. It's just weird. It is a weird watch. It is once you watch it as an adult and you just like notice anything, you're like, this is who greenlit this? I'm here for it, though, but like, what the heck?
But it didn't make my list. But I'm glad you brought it up because it
Yeah.
brought back a lot of memories.
Right? That's it's so weird.
I have no particular order for mine.
Same.
I'm gonna probably say I'll go with this one from Batman the Animated Series, which is the second episode of the series. It's Christmas with the Joker.
Oh.
It is the first time Mark Hamill voiced the Joker, and what I just found out recently is that they previously did record the episode with Tim, because Tim Curry was supposed to be the Joker, but they found him quote unquote too scary.
Huh.
So they brought Mark Hamill in, and he redubbed Tim Curry's line, so he sounds a little off. I mean, it still sounds like Mark Hamill's Joker, but just the delivery of the lines is a little off.
I've never seen this before.
It's like it starts off with Joker breaking out of Arkham Asylum. What else is new? And it's really corny because you know how you've seen Batman the Animated Series. The art style. This is like the second episode, and so the art style is not quite on point yet. Some things are a little too rubbery, too confined, but there's a lot of funny things where Robin's like, doesn't this just fill your heart with the spirit of Christmas, Batman, and stuff like that, and Batman's not saying anything, and he makes two Scrooge jokes like, bah humbug to you too, Batman. It's like, you could give lessons to Scrooge, and there's but basically the plot is Joker takes over a TV takes over the TV station that is hosting a Christmas show, and he has three people hostage: Commissioner Gordon, Harvey Bullock, and a reporter. And Batman doesn't find by midnight he's going to kill him. And there's a lot of I have a figure of Joker I'm holding right now from the episode, but it's so like it's really kind of the animation's not the best in this episode, which is weird because Batman the Animated Series has great animation, but like sometimes Joker's winking unintentionally, and everyone just seems really rubbery. There's a lot of corny moments. Like there's one joke I really like where Robin's like, "Let's watch It's a Wonderful Life," and Batman says, I've never seen it. I can never get past the title."
Oh my god.
Which is, I actually think it's fitting of Batman, but
Joker.
Joker does sing at the beginning, "Jingle Bells, Batman Smells."
Love that classic.
And I don't know. I just watch it every Christmas. I've done a review for it, and I love how inconsistent it is. Like you'll see giant mech nutcracker soldiers, and then you also see gangsters with Tommy guns.
Love that. That's a classic.
What else is in it?
Again, the hand puppet.
Yeah, the hand puppet Laffy, Joker's little helpful elf. Joker's actually really annoying in this.
Really?
Yeah, there's some funny jokes he says, but I just found him really irritating. I just want to punch him. But I guess that's the point. But I do love the ending, which is, again, spoilers, where he's dangling the three hostages over like a vat of whatever. I don't know if they're chemicals or what it is. It's just something.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Here, Batman, come and get your Christmas present." And Robin's like, "Don't do it, Batman." And Batman's like, "It's okay, Robin." He takes the present, he opens it, and it's literally just something that throws a pie in Batman's face. Joker's just laughing his ass off. But it's a good one. They end with watching It's a Wonderful Life. Robin's like, "It is a wonderful life." And Batman's like, "It has its moments." And it ends with Joker and Arkham Asylum singing, and he's like, "Merry Christmas." It's a fun one. It's not the best. Like I know there's other holiday specials from the Timverse or whatever you want to call the DCAU.
Yeah.
Like where there's another holiday one with Batman from the New Adventures.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Justice League one which is really good too, where it centers around all the Justice League characters. But I just watched this one the most, mostly for the sentimentality of that. It's Mark Hamill's first time as the Joker. It's from the classic animated series. And I have a figure of the Joker from that one. So, Batman, Christmas with the Joker. It's really fun. Go check it out. It should be on Max.
Heck yeah. I mean, anything Batman the Animated Series is really good.
It's a fantastic show. It still holds up 30 years later.
Right?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
It's been 30 years since that show aired, and it still looks great. I mean, in general, it is great, and I didn't really grow up with Justice League that much. I know a lot of people did. I
Mm-hmm.
watched a handful of, not because I didn't like it, just I kind of got out of superhero. Believe it or not, got out of superheroes for a while. I know that's unheard of for me. But I did watch some clips recently of the Justice League one where there's a moment where Superman is with he and Martian Manhunter are at Superman's parents' house,
Mm-hmm.
Mom Pa Kent, and Pa Kent is like,
Yeah.
we used to wrap his presents in lead so he couldn't peek, and Superman pauses and he's like, you mean Santa used to wrap them in lead? And Ma Kent's like, oh yes, sure, Clark, yes.
That's a really good episode.
It's,
I've seen that one. That one's really good.
and then Martian Manhunter is going through the room and he sees Clark is still peeking at the present. He's trying to peek at the present. He's like, lead. I'm reading. I told you this earlier. I'm reading a comic series, a DC comic. I don't know if it's canon, but it's one where Santa and Batman team up. And there's at the end of issue 2. It's really funny because you hear a boom, and Batman's like, "Oh no, it's him." And Superman shows up and he's all angry and his eyes are glowing red. He's like, "You never told me that you knew." And his eyes go back to normal. He's like, "Santa." Apparently, in the comics and in the cartoons, Superman's a big old nerd for Christmas.
I'm here for it.
I love that.
I'm here for it.
I can totally believe that, but you said you've seen the Justice League one.
Yes, I have.
I saw the clip where I think it's Humanite. What's the villain who looks like an ape? The white guy, the white ape creature thing that Flat is a villain of Flash.
Oh,
I think it's
Gorilla
Humanite.
Grodd?
No, not Gorilla Grodd. I think it's a guy with a big old white brain. He looks like an ape, but I don't think he is. Anyway, I think it's Humanite. Or something like that. But he's a villain of Flash, and they work together to bring a toy to these orphans. And
Not the orphans.
not the orphans. And when the villain goes to jail, Flash leaves him a Christmas tree and some lights, and you see that he's smiling. You know,
that's
that guy.
Okay, that's not Gorilla Grodd?
No, it's not. The Gorilla Grodd looks like a regular gorilla. This one I think is Humanite. I think that's his name.
I've seen that clip so many times, and I always
It's
just
not Gorilla.
assume that was wow.
But
Okay,
Gorilla Grodd, I know Gorilla Grodd's in the show, but he looks completely. It's a different character.
got it. Okay, yeah, I've seen that.
But-
Where he's like leaves him the tree.
Oh yeah, that's what I like about Flash. Flash genuinely cares about his villains. Like there's a moment in Justice League where he tries to help the Trickster out. Again, the Trickster's voiced by Mark Hamill.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of Batman was just like, let's beat him up. Flash is trying to say, you need to go back to the hospital. Like, okay, Flash.
You got me again.
That's what he says.
Yep.
Got me again, Flash. But yeah, I love Christmas with the Joker. That's my first pick.
Okay, that's a good one. That's a strong one.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm here for it.
Or just any of the holiday Batman the Animated Series episodes, I guess. What about you, Kyle? What's your number 2? Number 2.
This one, I don't know. I struggled after. I'm gonna be honest. After Grandma got ran over, I struggled because I have a few. I'll do one that I don't have too much to say about it, but I love it.
Okay.
I watch it every year. Let's do A Year Without Santa Claus.
We, I believe, talked about this a year ago. We did a whole episode on this, but I love this one, so let's talk about it again.
Yeah, I had to double check because these are from 1970 whatever. They are technically TV specials. They are. So I had to double check. I love the old 70s stop motion.
Rake and Bess, yeah.
Yes, I love them. I know people are creeped out by them, but I love them. Yeah, Year Without a Santa Claus is exactly what you get. It's in the title. There's a year without a Santa Claus, and the whole world gets affected by it. It's like everybody feels like it's just not. We did watch it together.
We did.
Yeah, that's right.
But we could talk about it again, because
Yeah.
I that's my favorite one.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, everyone doesn't feel. It doesn't feel like it's Christmas. They feel like it's just like another day. And Santa's sick, and I think what happens, if I remember correctly, is like the Christmas spirit is like at an all-time low, which is like affecting Santa. So they have to find a way. Oh, they find like a random town.
It's Southtown.
Yeah, yes, and it's just like it looks like it's like in the middle of like Texas, and because they just said it's just like it's in
The South.
yeah, it's somewhere where it's hot, and They, oh, I think an elf goes down there with one of the reindeer, and then they get the reindeer gets captured because the dog catcher thinks it's the dog, and then the elves are like trying to figure out what to do, so they call Mrs. Claus, and then they somehow put together that in that town nobody believes in Santa, so the way they do it is if it snows, then everyone will believe.
They're like, the mayor's like, oh, I have an old... He talks like that. You elves can do magic, right? Well, if you bring snow to Southtown, you will say, I'll let your little dog go free and we'll declare it a national holiday for Santa. That's how they talk in these specials. They talk over the top. Oh, I'm Charlie in the box.
They do, and their movements are weird, and I love it.
And so I'll help you out here, Kyle. So that they have to get the help of the Miser brothers.
Oh, the best part of the movie.
I'll let you take from there.
Yes. Do you remember their names?
Snow Miser and Heat Miser.
Yes.
They are what people remember this special for because of their songs and their personality. And so much so that this is one of the few Rankin Bass cartoons to years later get a sequel. They made a Miser Brothers Christmas.
That's right.
It's not the best, but it was cool to see them again.
I remember when we were watching it, we were noticing all the special effects stuff. We were like, oh look, they're moving them on strings.
Yeah, you could see the...
Yeah, they had it because there's scenes where they ride the reindeer and they just have them on strings and they're just bouncing them up and down on a screen, moving in the background. It's so much fun.
I do love, it goes back to that thing you brought up and Grandma got run over by a reindeer where it's like, oh, do they believe in Santa or do they not believe in Santa? Because the kids don't, but then there's other people who don't, but then there's adults who do, and that sometimes in the paper it'll say Santa is not going to make it to Christmas, but then they're like, oh, Santa's not real.
Yeah, that's a little weird, but for me, for these movies, what makes it special is I love the stop motion, I love the songs, and I just love like that like old style Christmas feeling you get from it.
Those specials really do emulate Christmas feeling.
Yeah.
Whether you're watching this or like Rudolph or Santa Claus is coming to town.
Yeah, because you could pick Christmas specials from like every decade and like anything before the 80s, like that. Those Christmas specials really do hit the spot.
Yeah, they're some of the best things you can watch during the holidays.
Yeah.
I would love for them to make like a big old box. There are a few box sets, but they don't have them all. I love like a giant box set that has all of them.
That'd be so much fun. I mean, the what's the other one they do? The one with that elf that wants to be a dentist.
Oh, Rudolph.
Yes, that's a classic.
I'm Hermie, but I'm an elf, but I really want to be a dentist.
And the Abominable Snowman, that scared the crap out of me when I was a kid.
And then there's Yukon Cornelius, the greatest prospector in the North.
What was up with that guy?
What was up with that? I think that was the cruelest Santa has ever been. Was in that one where he's just like so mean to them, and when Rudolph's nose is revealed as a fake, he says to Rudolph's father, Donner, you should be ashamed of yourself. And I know he's saying that you should be ashamed for hiding your son's nose, but it really comes across like he's saying you should be ashamed that your son has a freak nose.
Yeah, get this freak out of here. We don't need any more.
And it really comes across like Santa's just using Rudolph for his advantage. Like, oh, I'm mightily inconvenienced, so Rudolph, use your disability to help us. And then there's also when the elves are performing a song for him, and the song's over, he's like, yes, well, nice, I have to go now. And he just leaves.
Oh my God.
Santa's a jerk.
I forgot about all that.
I almost knocked down the laptop.
Oof, we're good. We're here.
Okay. But I do love the Year Without a Santa Claus the best too.
I think out of all of them, that one's my favorite.
And that's the one Mickey Rooney has voiced Santa the most in those specials. He voices him in that one too. And this the grumpy old Dr. Elf who's like, no one celebrates Christmas. By the way, Merry Christmas.
Oh yeah, I forgot about you diagnosis him.
Yeah, he's like, no one believes in you anymore.
Anyways, goodbye. Here's your bill.
Merry Christmas. Here's your bill. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Here's my gift from me to you.
It's like Grumpy the Dwarf. He looks like him too, kind of.
He does. But yeah, the songs are great. The characters are hilarious.
Didn't you say, I remember when we did the episode, you were like how the father of the kid looks exactly like the kid. The model is sized up, and they just changed the hair.
Oh yeah, I remember that we kept looking at all the models and we were like, that's just the same model, but they just gave it a bigger torso and longer arms.
What was his name? Ignatius or Iggy or something?
Yeah, I mean that makes sense because I mean back then they just had a budget and they were like, we gotta put this together, we gotta do this real quick.
I love that one of my favorite moments. The last thing I'll say about it, because I'll stop. I won't be able to stop if we keep going on. Is like when they're doing it's gonna snow in whatever the song is called with the mayor singing. He's just running out of the office like a madman, like
oh, he's like dancing. He's like going
it's
around
gonna
the
snow, ho ho, right here in Bixby, oh dancing, do. Oh god, I wasted so much of my time on that special.
It's good. It's good. I'm here for it.
So I guess I'll go with my next one. I think I'd be surprised if you haven't at least seen this one. It's the Hey Arnold Christmas special.
Ooh, okay. Let me. Oh, is it the one I think it is?
It's the one
with his
the daughter.
Oh, you just.
Did you pick that one?
No, but I know. I haven't seen that in years.
I haven't seen it in years, but I remember it vividly.
It's horrible.
Because Hey Arnold, for those who don't, Hey Arnold was a Nickelodeon show from the 90s. And it's very mature. Like, there's kid goofies.
I loved it. Yeah.
I did too. There's goofy and kid stuff in it, but it deals with a lot of mature themes.
Yeah, remember the Pigeon Man?
It was supposed to end with him. I'm not sure if I'm gonna say he was supposed to commit suicide. Apparently,
what the hell?
That was a depressing one too. Man,
we can give out spoilers. I mean, you haven't seen the show yet. I mean,
I haven't seen it in so long, but I remember that episode, the Pigeon Man. I remember Stoop Kid. I remember Monkey Man.
Remember what was the hillbilly character? His friend, the tall, skinny one.
Stinky.
Remember, he's a vampire.
That's confirmed. It would be a vampire. There's also there's a lot of episodes.
And the grandpa punched Hitler.
I forgot about that.
It's the fishing. I think it's the fishing episode where they have like a contest at the lake,
mm-hmm.
and then he's like telling a story. I swear I'm gonna look it up again. But he tells a story about how he was in World War II, and he's just like he was like fighting Nazis, and I swear he goes, and then I punched Hitler in the face.
So he's Captain America.
Yeah, I mean it's obviously just an old man's ramblings, but I'm pretty sure they like animated it, and he just goes. I think he just punches him in the face.
See if you can find that.
Yeah, I will try to find that.
But this one is for those who don't know, it centers around Arnold, and he has a secret Santa because he lives in like a kind of apartment building his grandparents own, and there's other people there. And
yeah,
I believe I tried looking up the name of the person it centers around, but this is gonna be embarrassing. My hearing was just shot today. I couldn't tell. I think his name was Mr. Wynn.
I'll look it up real quick. I think that is what it was.
And Mr. Wynn, I'm just gonna say that.
Was he like supposed to be Vietnamese?
Yes, he was Vietnamese.
Okay.
I did look that up. He doesn't really celebrate Christmas that much. Not because he's like a grump or anything. He's just kind of reserved and quiet to himself. And Arnold draws him for like a secret Santa, and he doesn't know what to get him. So he finds out a few things about Mr. Wynn. One that is that he lived in Vietnam and had a little baby daughter, and I think they're implying this was during the Vietnam War.
I think that's what it was supposed to be.
They didn't outright say it, because I watched the flashback. They didn't outright say it, but I think it is. And
it looks like it.
It probably is, because they're not, Harold wasn't that subtle.
Yeah.
But they're trying to get, the war comes to his area, and they're trying to get people out. There's a helicopter, and Mr. Wynn... They say they only get one person on the helicopter, and Mr. Wynn holds out his daughter for them to take her, and they do take her. And he's separated from her for 20 years.
Yeah, something like that, or like 30 or something.
I think it was 20 to 30. And he makes it eventually to, I forgot where Harold, is it New York or is it somewhere else?
I think they're supposed to, is it Chicago?
Maybe it's Chicago. Maybe it's not New York, but it's somewhere, let's just say, Eastern United States.
Yeah, East Coast.
East Coast, thank you. But there's also another side plot going around. So I mean, basically, what Arnold wants to do is try and find Mr. Wynn's daughter, for him, and he gets the help of some guy who his job is to find people. And he says, "Look, it's Christmas Eve. I'm busy. If you can get all my Christmas shopping done, I'll help you find her." And they get all the Christmas shopping done except for these boots, these damn boots that are sold out everywhere. And ironically, these are the same boots that Helga, the girl who is mean to Arnold but really likes him, she wants these boots too. And she ends up getting the boots from her mom for Christmas.
Huh.
And she overhears Arnold saying that he needs the boots and to find the daughter because he tells the guy Arnold tells the guy they can't find the boots and he's like, I'm not going to help you then. You got my other Christmas shopping done, but you get the damn boots. And Helga has to make a choice: keep the boots for herself, which every girl wants. Everyone wants these boots, and she has them.
Mm-hmm.
Or do something selfless to help Arnold out. And she does the selfless thing, and then, again, spoilers, the special ends with on Christmas Eve or Christmas, whatever, the holiday.
Yeah.
Mr. Wynn is finally reunited with his daughter, and Arnold does not know that Helga was the one who helped out. It ends with her outside his house saying "Merry Christmas, Arnold," and she leaves. And
Oh, yeah.
it is a really good Christmas special.
Yeah.
It might be my favorite one growing up because I was gonna put something like SpongeBob, the Christmas SpongeBob, but this one had left more of an emotional impact on me. Like the Christmas SpongeBob one, which was I think it was called Christmas Who with SpongeBob. That was fun, where Squidward does something selfless too. But this one was just Harold had such an emotional punch.
It did. A lot of times it really did.
It didn't always end on, from what I remember, it didn't always end on a good note.
No, there wasn't. No, it was. I loved it. It was so good.
They made like a follow-up movie a few years ago. I never watched it, but it was like where they finally found his parents. Or something like that.
I remember liking it. I don't remember. I liked it. It wasn't anything crazy, but
they had a movie
in a time where we're getting nothing but remakes and sequels and reboots. It was good.
It was like a good continuation.
That's the best way to describe it.
I know they did a movie. I saw that in the theater. That was okay. They did. It was like they had to save the neighborhood from a corporate bit.
Oh yeah, that was in the movie theaters.
That was in the movie theaters.
I think I only saw it on Nickelodeon.
Helga confesses her love to Arnold, but then she almost immediately takes it back and says, "Oh, she was just in the motions."
Don't they like blow up like a bridge?
I think they do.
Right?
That wouldn't surprise me.
There's like I remember there being like a detonator for like dynamite, and it's like from her dad's construction company, right?
Big Bob's Beepers or something like that.
Oh yeah, he does beepers, and isn't he like the mattress king or something?
He has to take two business, but I remember he had the commercial Big Bob's Beepers. But one of my favorite. Do you remember that?
It's just the way you sang it was funny.
There was one joke. I just remembered this joke, and it was so needlessly cruel but funny. You remember Harold in the show? The fat bully. He's walking down the street, and there's this little jerk kid who comes up and is like, "Mommy, look, it's a fat man." And he looks at the kid so sad, and the mom's like, No, honey, don't say that. He's not a fat man. The Harold just starts smiling, and then the mom's like, he's a fat boy. And Harold looks so sad and walks away.
Oh, poor Harold.
Like Harold always called out for his mom, I remember.
Oh, yeah.
And then there was, what's his name? The guy who's always breathing down Helga's neck. And then she would punch him. Oh,
the weird, like, skinny guy?
Yeah, I forgot what his name was.
He looked like a vampire.
He's in the intro.
Yeah.
There's also the kid Eugene. I think he always has the worst luck.
Yeah.
Like he literally says in one episode he was born on Friday the 13th.
Oh yeah. See, I remember his little boots. He had like little boots on. He was always like walking because he had the leather jacket, right, with the weird penis nose.
That was him. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was the chocolate kid who was obsessed with chocolate, and they deal with an episode about him. They deal with stuff like gag characters. Like there's a kid who's obsessed with chocolate, but then they deal with the things about addiction.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of like makes sense. They take like things that we did as kids. Like a lot of. I remember there was a kid. What was there a kid obsessed with growing up? There was a kid when I grew up in third grade. He was obsessed with Batman. That was like his thing.
Sure, this wasn't me. No.
There's a Batman. Another kid who was obsessed with Star Wars. There was another one that was obsessed with like Hot Wheels and cars. So it makes sense.
But I love the But we're going off talking. But the Christmas one, that's one I highly. That's the one on my list I would recommend you guys watch this year if you have the time or any year.
Yeah, no, that's a classic right there. That one, yeah, that ending, Jesus. Did you say it? Did you spoil the ending?
Where
I don't know if you
Where
said.
she sacrifices the boots so that Mr. Wynn could get the daughter. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, she just shows up and he's like, "Oh my god!"
And Arnold doesn't know that Helga's the one.
Yeah, that was cool too.
Yeah, I like it. It shows that she can be selfless and doesn't need the credit.
Yeah, there was even that there's that whole side arc with her and her family where they treat her daughter, the older sister, way better than they treat her.
Olga, yeah.
Yeah, remember that?
There was an episode where they dealt with her first time going to school, and they just don't walk her to school because they're
Yeah.
preoccupied with how great Olga is, and the only one who was kind to her was Arnold.
Yeah, there's that whole story arc where her parents just treat her like shit, and then her older daughter's the
golden child.
Yeah, and oh my god, there's all that stuff. It's crazy.
They highly hint in the show that the mom's an alcoholic.
Wasn't she always tired or something?
She's always tired. And I think there's a joke where Olga says she's gonna get married, and the mom's like, "No, Olga, don't make the same mistake I did." And the dad looks back at them.
Oh my god,
It's such a great show.
that's a banger of a show.
That
Reminds me of Recess.
I remember Recess. Did they? I'm sure they had a Christmas episode.
I think they did. I didn't look into it, but I actually did rewatch that show a few months ago on Disney Plus.
I remember the movie.
Movie was okay.
The movie was weird because the whole thing is to change the planet so there's no summer.
Oh my god.
Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
The villain was a guy who used to work with the principal, and he's like, "I'm gonna get rid of summer vacation, so I'm gonna globally change the weather."
Yeah, how the hell does that work? You're just in school forever? That's not how that works. What?
Kids need a break. And I remember hating Randall. He looked exactly like Igor. He had a hunchback and everything.
Oh yeah. Oh, Randall was great. I knew a kid just like Randall too, so it was very relatable. I think we all knew somebody like that.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But what's your last pick, sir?
I had a few. I think I know which one I'm gonna do.
Okay.
It's a little different. I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
I'm doing the Codename Kids Next Door Christmas special.
I thought you were gonna pick something like the Invader Zim Christmas special because I felt like that was up your alley.
I haven't seen that in forever, so. Oh, you know what? I could have also done that special.
But I want to hear because I kind of remember Kids Next Door because didn't they parody the X-Men in that episode?
Yep.
All right,
Yep.
explain that one to me because I just saw a post about that and I was like, oh, I remember the X-Men in that.
So, this was early 2000s. The X-Men were hot. Everything was about X-Men. All three movies had just come out. Everything was Wolverine and I just remember everything was X-Men back then. I didn't even know who, half these Avengers that are here today. I don't even know who they were back then. I just knew X-Men, Captain America, and I barely knew Iron Man, and I knew Hulk. That was it. And Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Christmas special is they're all shopping and getting gifts for each other. Number 3 got number 4 something, but he forgot to get her something.
Of course.
And then while he's trying to figure that out, it turns into I just remember something about how I think her maybe I forget what the motivation was to why Santa has a task force to handle threats on Christmas, and it's the X-Men, and they're all Christmas themed. I forget why they show up to the Kids Next Door, the K&D.
Are they kids too or no?
They're
Resident ambiguous.
that's the weird part is they're kid size, but the Wolverine one is clearly an adult. They're all clearly adults, but they're also kid size.
Which is funny because in the comics, Wolverine is in general kid size.
Exactly. Yeah, it's I never knew. I didn't know what they were doing with that. Also, they're also elves, so I think that's what it was. I think they're elves, so that's why they're kid size, but they're adults. But yeah, so that's the whole X-Men Christmas Force, and it's they got the Wolverine who has candy cane claws. They have a Storm who's basically an angel who can control snow. There was one who I think he was supposed to be Colossus, and he's a giant Christmas tree dude who can when his skin gets hard like a pine tree.
Yeah.
They had a Nightcrawler, and he's a nutcracker. And what was there another one?
Was there a Cyclops or no?
I don't remember if there was.
But no one cares about Cyclops. No.
Yeah.
At least, let me rephrase. At least in the movies, no one cares about Cyclops.
Yeah, he was kind of a
Jerk.
Yeah, he's kind of a wimp, kind of a dweeb. And then there's like, make way for cool Wolverine. He's gonna come and steal your girl and steal your job.
Hey, Gene.
It's all he had to do. But yeah, so I remember they attack the kids next door and they steal like their treehouse, and then they're just like pissed. They're like, "What the hell was that all about?" And they like go back and they just fight each other.
That was Santa.
I remember. I remember why.
Okay.
The whole reason they go after them is because Santa has a Cerebro machine. Do you remember that?
I don't remember.
He has his own Cerebro, but the way it works is instead of it being a helmet, you grab like reins to a reindeer, like the the rope they use.
Yeah.
But they're like sleigh bells, and you grab those, and then that's how Santa can tell who's been naughty and who's been nice. And the delightful children from down the lane.
Of course, it was them.
They dress up as the kids next door
and frame them.
Yes, and they steal the bells, so they basically make everyone in the world naughty, but they make them, obviously the only ones that get nice, so they make them receive the presents, and like, because it's like very vague how it works, but because they can like do that, the presents like that were supposed to go to all the kids all over the world teleport to like their house under their tree and just like fills up their mansion.
They're damn kids.
Yeah, and that's why they think they stole it, and then they're like, no, we didn't, and then they find out it was the delightful children from down the lane, so they have to like team up, which is awesome, and they have to go fight them, and then like I remember at the end they beat them, and like everything's all wrapped up, it's all nice, and then like number 3 disappears, and then they find her on the machine, which her whole character, she's like the nice one, the selfless one, but she's like, I don't get gifts every year, I buy everyone else's gifts and everyone gives me shit gifts. She's like, I'm gonna make sure I get what I want this year.
She gets all the rainbow monkeys.
And she like does like the same thing, and they have to like stop her, and then like number 4 is like, no, I did get you a gift this year, I promise. And I think he like made her something. And she's like, yep. She's like, that's pretty much all I wanted. And he's like, oh, crap. I wish I would have done that before.
Was Father in the episode, do you remember? Because he was my favorite villain.
I don't know. Do you know who voiced him?
Maurice LaMarche. Brain from Piggy and the Brain / Mr. Freeze from Arkham City.
Oh, yeah.
I loved Father. That was like, he always talked like this. He had a little slow voice, and then he raised it really high.
I love this character. He's
like,
awesome.
There was one line, I saw this on YouTube, where there's he's with another Kids Next Door member, and they see there's a kid from the 19th century, and they're like, go ahead, ask him something, Father. And it's like, hey, 19th century kid, you want to watch a cartoon on the television? And then it's revealed in like the movie that he's number 1's uncle. Do you remember that? Did you see the movie?
Yes, I love the movie.
The movie where it's revealed that he corrupted the delightful children. They were once next door operatives.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, that's terrifying.
Yeah,
because he corrupted them, but he corrupted them forever.
So there's no reversal.
No, it was what they did was they get the machine, and they like the machine can like what do you call it? De-brainwash.
Oh.
Because that's how they turn his dad. They turn his dad back to like
an old man.
And they turn him back into numbers Agent Zero.
Yeah.
And then the machine, I guess when it went off, it got the delightful kids and it changed them back to normal, but only temporarily, which was so sad.
And it was terrifying when they were changing back.
Was it his original team? Did they hint that? I don't remember. Because I think it might have been his original team.
It probably was.
Which is so horrifying.
But I remember Father, like when the
do you remember Grandfather?
Grandfather was terrifying.
Yeah.
But I love, because I didn't think anything could beat Father, but then Grandfather shows up. but the thing that I loved is when they're about to their team about to go to Father for help, and they just go to a random house, and he opens the door, he's just in his little pink fluffy robe. It's like, oh good, it's you might as well come on in, like I get. And the Agent Zero, Nigel's father, is like, why are you wearing that ridiculous thing? He's like, what, this? And he's holding up the rope. Matches my eyes.
What?
And he pulls it off. He pulls off what I always thought was just his skin, but he pulls off Father's appearance, and it reveals to be the dorky. Remember how Father is always clad in black?
It's not
a suit.
Yeah, that's right.
And it just shows him like a stereotypical father with the glasses and the pipe
Like
and
a
the suspenders.
1950s, yeah, with the sweater vest
Yeah,
on.
you're supposed to be the genius. I'm your uncle. I just love how Maurice LaMarche talks in that.
He's just sarcastic. But yeah, that's the Christmas special. I loved it because it was I don't know, it was I don't know, a lot of just being a kid and just looking at dumb action and bright lights
And where the kids are the heroes.
I mean, I remember that was a cool crossover with like X-Men and Kids Next Door.
There was like a Billy and Mandy crossover with Kids Next Door too, I think.
It's really funny. I've seen that one. That one's really funny.
And it even had Ed and Eddie briefly.
I remember that.
I just want to throw a quick shout out to the Ed and Eddie Christmas special. That was a good one too.
Oh, with
where which one, Eddie does something selfless with the Christmas tree near the end, where it's running out of light. Do you remember that one?
Is that the one with Rolf with his? Because I think they might have done a few.
I think there was a specific one where Eddie is upset because all he gets for Christmas are clothes, and he's trying to go to other people's houses to get Christmas presents, and he doesn't get any. And he does something selfless for the holidays, where there's this tree that's out of lights, and he pulls a Grinch maneuver where he puts a light on a Christmas tree, and it's just everyone comes in together, and then it ends how you'd expect. The cankers, all the kids hate the Eds, and the cankers take him in.
Oh yeah.
But I just want to throw a shout out.
There's also that other one where like Rolf is like throwing like he's like having a family reunion, and they think like I don't know if it's a Christmas. I think it's a Christmas special because it takes place during winter, and they like. Because Rolf has like weird family traditions,
yes.
Whatever they're doing there, it looks like alien because there's like green light shooting from the windows, and like I think they have the furnace turned all the way up, so the snow is like melted in like a giant radius around the house. Because like they walk through it and they just get like super hot as like the as they walk through the parts where like the
Kyle,
snow
you
is
dare
melted.
mock the son of a shepherd?
Many doors, Ed boy.
But I love the Kids Next Door. I do remember the Kids Next Door one a little bit more now. But in general, I love the show.
It was very Christmassy. It had a lot of funny action, a lot of funny jokes. I liked it. It was like a perfect mix of just like turn your brain off and have a good time.
Now, for my last one, I'm going to pick a classic one that I just watched a few nights ago.
Mm-hmm.
You picked like a Rankin Bass cartoon, The Year Without a Santa Claus.
Mm-hmm.
I really love what got me into comic books in general. My grandfather, when he passed away, he left me a bunch of the Peanuts Charles Schultz comics. And those were my introduction to comic books in general. And so I loved Charlie Brown. The kid could not catch a break. And sometimes I thought the Christmas special was one of the hardest ones to watch because of how cruel they are to him. And but it's also a really good, because Charles Schultz wrote you know what I'm talking about, Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown, whatever it's called. Charles Schultz wrote this one. I think he wrote all of the movies probably. And it's really anti-commercialism. They talk about how everything's commercial. It's all about money, like as in Sally wants just cash and presents from Santa Claus. Snoopy wants to win a big old light contest. They're all about putting on a show for Christmas, and they want the biggest, brightest aluminum tree. That was a thing I asked my mom. My mom was watching it with me. I'm like, was that a thing back in the day, aluminum Christmas trees? And like, was that because they made that a point that they were aluminum, and everyone knows Charlie Brown gets the one tree that's not aluminum. It's this really dingy little kind of
the sad
tree.
little pathetic Charlie Brown tree,
and everyone gives him such grief for picking that tree.
I would have too.
Fair. But what really, because we went to a Catholic school, and whether you're big into the Catholic belief or not, it's still a touching message that Linus gives about the meat, where Charlie Brown is like, he has a breaking point. Everyone's like, does anyone know what the true meaning of Christmas is about? And Linus gives a really sweet speech. Whether you're practicing Catholic or not, it's a good thing to remember that Christmas is not just about the gifts and the commercialism. It's about simple things, kindness to your fellow man, whatnot. Again, doesn't matter if you're Catholic or not. It's just kindness in general.
Yeah.
And the compassion to Charlie Brown, I think that resonates with me because Charlie Brown is at his core a compassionate person. Mm-hmm. And he goes back to his place to But it's still sad because the first thing that's basically what they had. Kyle's showing me pictures of aluminum trees.
Yeah, they do not make them anymore.
Thank God.
They are weird looking.
They're ugly. But the first thing Charlie Brown does...
We have technology.
We have technology, SpongeBob. Charlie Brown literally puts one ornament on the tree and he kills it. Like, it bends over. And, like, that's what he says. He says, I quote, I killed it. Why does everything I touch... or something like that.
Die.
Yeah. And the kids fix the tree. Like, they put ornaments on the tree and it looks remarkable. And they all start singing. It kind of ends abruptly. You've seen it, right?
I do remember it kind of just...
They sing Hark the Herald Angels Sing, and it just, well, as the credits roll. It's a really short special. There's a lot of things I like. Like, I like Lucy being this hard little child where she's like, where Linus is like, why should I memorize these lines? It's like, I'll give you 5 reasons. She holds out her 5 fingers and puts one down when she says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's a fist. And she's like, Linus is like, those are good reasons.
One was like this.
Yeah. There's the one where a lot of the good stuff came from Lucy, where she tells Schroeder that Beethoven wasn't that great, and Schroeder, a big piano enthusiast, like, why do you mean Beethoven wasn't so great? He's like, well, he never had his picture on a bubblegum card. Have you ever seen Beethoven's picture on a bubblegum card? There's a lot. I like that about the Peanuts. They're very. There's a lot of. They act like they're adults, kind of.
Yeah.
Which is even more funny when you never see the adults.
Wow.
Except for that. But I know it's not like something as a mate thing from like that we probably grew up with as children, like SpongeBob or Ed and Eddie or something like that. But I think it's a special one that still holds up today.
It's a classic.
It's very classic. It's short. I love that speech that Linus gives, and I love the hopeless optimism that Charlie Brown kind of does have. Like, even he goes through so much and he deals with so much hatred.
Who gets it worse? Charlie Brown?
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man.
See, here's the thing. Spider-Man has spider sense, so if Lucy was going to take that stupid football away, Spider-Man could have dodged that.
Who gets more hate who gets more...
Oh, okay. Charlie Brown. I will say Charlie Brown, because Spider-Man does have some people who like him. I think Charlie Brown just has Linus.
Does Snoopy even like him? I don't even remember.
I don't even know, because in this one, he's not... In this one, Snoopy boos him. Like, when they're like, here's our director... And I know he boos him because in the subtitles, in the closed captioning, it says "booze." Like when they're welcoming Charlie Brown, everyone is no, it's not even that. Everyone's applauding Charlie Brown when he arrives, except Snoopy, who's booing him. And Charlie Brown looks at the camera and goes, "Man's best friend."
Love that.
So I don't really know the relation. You would think that other times I've seen Snoopy not nice to Charlie Brown, but not this one. He's a dick.
Oh, yeah.
If he was a female dog, he'd be something else. But those are my picks.
Those are my picks. Did you want to do any runner-ups or any honorable mentions?
I would say The Grinch.
Actually, real quick.
Yeah.
I can say one that I actually never really liked.
Okay, go ahead.
I never liked the SpongeBob one.
Really?
Yeah.
Go ahead. I want to hear this.
I don't know. It was kind of a boring episode. It was boring to watch. It was like they talked about like how okay, I'm trying to remember it. How do they even find out about Santa Claus?
Sandy.
Is that what it was?
Sandy explains what Christmas is about.
Okay, yeah. And then SpongeBob and Patrick go crazy over it. They turn the whole town into it. And then Squidward being Squidward has to be like the Scrooge.
Yeah.
And then it's... I don't know.
I love the... there is a moment where Christmas is ruined and SpongeBob's depressed and Squidward's just laughing his butt off. And it transitions to a donkey. And you hear the...
Oh, yeah.
And one of my favorite jokes is Santa Squidward gives Patrick a clock, and he's like, "Here you go, Patrick," and Patrick's like, "Thanks," and he punches his wrist through the clock. He's like, "A wristwatch."
Oh my god. Yeah, I never really was a fan of it. I don't know why.
I used to sing the song as a kid, but that's fair.
Yeah.
I do love the original Grinch cartoon. We've talked about the Jim Carrey one. I get so annoyed to this day when people are like, "Oh, the original Grinch. You mean the Jim Carrey one?" No, I'm talking about the Boris Karloff one. There was an original Grinch. I think it's a great one.
When was it made?
It was when Boris...
It was 80s.
70s something, because Boris... Maybe it was even in the 50s, 60s? Because it was Boris Karloff read did the narration, and he also voiced the Grinch. So he would have been well old, but
1966.
okay.
Wow.
I forgot what year Boris Karloff died. It was probably around that time.
Wow, I didn't know it was that old.
It's the same people who did the Looney Tunes animation, Chuck Jones.
He died in 69.
Oh, yeah, 3 years later. Um, um, what else? I think there was another one. I did see Muppets Christmas Carol for the first time.
That is a whole...
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't see the hype. I'm probably just call me a Scrooge all you want. I didn't. My review for this will probably come out. Oh man, this was going to come out before my review. Dang it! You'll see in my review what I have to say about Muppets Christmas Carol. But the short version, I thought it was fine. I was just kind of disappointed.
I like when he's wiping the window with one of the little characters.
With the rat?
Yeah, and he's like, oh,
Thanks for letting me be a part of this.
Yeah. He's just wiping him with it. He throws him down.
I love the story of A Christmas Carol. I try to read it every year.
Do you like the Bill Murray one?
I actually have not seen Scrooge. That's the
No?
one. I haven't seen it, but I want to see it. Doesn't he make a Ghostbusters reference in that?
I don't know. I haven't seen it since I was a kid.
Well, I love Mickey's Christmas Carol, where Goofy is Jacob Marley's like, oh, guard is slippery. But I think that's about it. I don't really have anything else to say.
I was trying to remember some.
I have a whole. Let me see.
Just off the top of your head. I like the Grim Adventures one.
That was fun.
With the vampire?
Where he turns into a vampire.
Yeah, yeah.
That's fun. Not
Doctor Who Christmas special. If anyone's a fan of those, I know you don't watch Christmas.
I don't watch Doctor Who that much,
but it's a tradition. They always have a Christmas special.
Did they do this year's already, or has it?
Yeah, it's every year. It's on this year. It was on Disney Plus.
Oh, that's cool. Though.
Yeah, very interesting. But it's always wacky and crazy, and
that makes sense.
Yeah, when you're a Doctor Who fan, that gets you really into the Christmas spirit. Just always looking forward to those Doctor Who Christmas specials.
Right. Trying to think of another one. You know what? We have a little bit of time before the battery dies. Have you seen the Star Wars Holiday Special, Kyle?
I have. Yeah. I've seen the horny Chewbacca grandpa watching the I don't know what that is. What is
like
that?
A hologram thing?
I don't know.
Yeah. I still want them to release it.
Is there any cool Disney Christmas specials you like?
Mickey's Christmas Carol I really like.
Yeah.
That one is a condensed version of the Christmas Carol where Scrooge McDuck plays Scrooge. That was my first introduction to Christmas Carol.
What about Simpsons?
You know, I don't remember I know they do them.
The only one I can think of is I don't know if it was a Christmas special, but the one where they get Santa's little helper.
I know that one.
That's a classic.
That's why they named him that too, I assume.
Yeah, it was a race. He was a racetrack dog.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do want to say just a shout out to I was watching some clips recently on TikTok about Jim Carrey's Christmas Carol, which it's with the weird. It's from that weird animation.
2009.
Yeah. Right? It's not the best adaptation, but what I really like, I know people love Jim Carrey's The Grinch.
Mm-hmm.
I don't consider it the same character as from the book or the cartoon. It's a good performance, but I think Jim Carrey makes a great Scrooge.
Yeah, he did a good job.
Like I've seen clips of the motion capture, right? They showed the first few 5 or 8 minutes of the movie where all is just in motion capture, and his facial features where he's able to scrunch up his face like an old man and just do the voice. He's a talented actor, and I miss seeing him and stuff. Mm-hmm. But I just wanted to throw that out because I remember seeing it. It's a terrifying movie. There's a lot of dark imagery in that movie.
I love the first ghost. It's like he's huge when he shows up in his...
the present, Ghost of Christmas Present.
Oh, is it present?
Yeah, because the Ghost of Christmas Present is usually depicted as like the giant.
Yeah.
And when he turns like a skeleton at the end.
Yeah.
That movie is terrifying.
Futurama Christmas special.
I haven't seen it, but I know that's where Santa's an evil robot.
Yeah, okay. So when he's in the future and he's like, oh, we're gonna celebrate Christmas. They're like, yeah, Christmas time's coming up, and he's like, oh, I love it. Like, let's go get a pine tree. He's like, pine trees have been extinct for thousands of years. And they get a palm tree, and it's because the future, so everything's backwards, and then they have to their Christmas special or their Christmas tradition is they have to lock their doors and lock everything on Christmas or else Santa will kill you. So it's the opposite. And I know they just got, I don't want to say a reboot, but Hulu made new episodes for Futurama, and they did the Christmas special again, and they went over where the evil robot came from.
Is it the same creators or no?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's at least I heard it's kind of mixed.
It was a lot better than what they're putting out nowadays.
Okay.
We'll say that.
Oh, I appreciate. I will take your word for that one. I've only
Mhm.
seen a handful of Futurama episodes, but I know it's the same people who did Simpsons and all that.
I don't know if whoever's listening to this, if they're gonna know what I'm talking about, but I will say this one. This is like near and dear one to my heart. Is any of the original Christmas specials from seasons 1, 2, and 3 from Thomas the Tank Engine? Those are so good.
I'll have to take. I never knew Thomas the Tank Engine. Honestly, I never knew Thomas the Tank Engine did Christmas specials.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it was always at the end of the season. They at least did one or two of them, and they were cool because in the show they use real models and they make actual sets. And I believe in the first season it was all filmed in like the building was like the size of a garage. And in that one they actually have like snow and everything, and they have to like put the models through the snow, and they put like Christmas lights over everything. And I rewatched the Christmas special. The Christmas lights that are on everything are just big Christmas tree lights just flopped on the model. And the main human character, he's standing on a pedestal. It's clearly Lego blocks like that they use to put him up there. It's such a vibe just watching those.
That actually sounds really sweet.
Yeah, it's fun. They did them for like 3 years.
Well, we've gone over an hour now, sir.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I have it. Do you have any other ones you want to mention quickly?
I'm good. I'm satisfied.
I'm pretty satisfied too. I know I'm a little dissatisfied we didn't talk about the holiday special that much. No, I'm not. I don't care. I've talked about that enough.
Mm-hmm.
But those are our picks. Do with them what you will. If you have enough, whenever this comes out, maybe next year, if you're watching this, you can check some of these out. And we're gonna try and to do more podcast episodes in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle, thank you for coming on again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We should do like a Godzilla day or something like that, or especially with the new movie that came out.
You know what would have been really fun is if we watched a crappy Hallmark Christmas movie.
Oh no! Don't make me do that, guys. No, my sister, and my mom watched those, and I can't do it. But we could try that.
Those are rough. Those are rough.
But it'd be funny. It'd be really funny. So if you get enough subscribers, maybe we'll do that. All right. So from us to you, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Life Day.
There it is. There it is.
Take care, everyone.
Have a good one.